Okay, this is going to be a little video on how I do curved cabinets, how I glue the sides on. As you can see, this has a little bit of a taper toward the rear, gives it a nice aesthetic look, and it's not too hard to do. I'm just going to run through real quick how I do it. I'm going to put 2 panels on at a time, because if you put just one, it has a tendency to not conform so good to the cabinet. If you put 2 on at a time, glue 2 up, it gives it more strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Type On 2 wood glue. I'm going to go over this pretty good. I use my little roller to spread the glue around, evenly distribute it. That should be good. This is a 3/16 of an inch HDF, high density fiberboard. Kind of like what they make clipboards out of. It's got a smooth side on one side and a real rough, porous, textury side on the other side. And so I'm putting this glue on the smooth side because the other side just sucks it up so fast that it doesn't have a chance to get all over the board. Okay, so this is glued up pretty good. Even coverage. Okay, so that's that part. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to glue 2 panels up. That to that, and that to that. Get clamped to the cabinet markets so they'll be on there pretty good in a few minutes. So next step I'm going to do is put some wax paper down so this stupid thing doesn't get stuck to my work table. And I'm going to put some, this is not Gorilla Glue, but it's polyurethane, Type On polyurethane. And what I'm going to do is just put a good bead, and I'll rub it in with my finger and make sure it gets all over the place. Because this joint, this seam is going to have a fair amount of pressure against it, because the board that I'm going to clamp to it is going to want to go straight, and I'm asking this thing to have a nice curve to it, and it's going to be under some pressure. So this is a good glue to use because it expands. It'll fill any little cracks that happen to show up, and it expands into the material. And it's pretty good with MDF. I prefer it to regular wood glue, actually. Alright, that's the one side. Now I've got to do this with the other side without throwing myself to this. Got the consistency of honey. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't much matter. I'm just putting glue on the edges. You can figure that out pretty good. Again, I'm just going to spread it around so it's nice and all over the joint. This stuff foams up and expands, but I still like to have it all soaking in real good. This thing's kind of heavy, but it's okay. Alright, so that's pretty good. Got it pretty much all over, and if you can see, I made a little 1/2 inch thick stand on the bottom to keep it off of the table, because these boards are about 1/2 inch extra oversized. I want to make sure I have enough space so that I can clamp this thing on without having to worry about, am I too close to the edge or not. Well, I see that I've forgotten to clamp, so I'm going to run over here and get a clamp real fast. This is my second time doing this. The first time's over there. I forgot I used that clamp up. So I'm going to use these boards. These boards are 2x4 is ripped in half. It gives it strength and enables the clamping force to be distributed across the whole face, the whole side, as opposed to just clamping pressure here, here, and here. It distributes it much more evenly. And once I got these things where I like them, I'll bear down on it, clamp it nice and tight. I shall do this in 2 more places. Down here. And one up here. Alright, the trick is you want to tighten it until it strips and then back it off a quarter. The clamping humor. These are Harbor Freight clamps, I shouldn't kid. Alright. Okay. That was the easy part. Oh, I need another clamp. I'll be right back. Okay. So I got two more boards to hold this big mess together. And what I'm going to do is just sort of pull that in with this temporarily. Let me get this thing where I want it. That's where I want it. Okay. This is just to cinch it closed until I can get the hand screws on. That's what's going to really do the heavy lifting. Here I go. I'm going to put 2 of these on. I only have 4 of these 12-inch ones. I've got 2 on that cabinet and 2 on this one. I'm going to throw some other clamps on in a bit, but for now, this gives you the idea. Okay. This one got a little loose because I know I tightened these up pretty good. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. I'll probably put a clamp down here and maybe I'll probably just one down here just to be safe, but that's basically the gist of it. You've got 2 layers of 3/16 inch high density fiberboard. I've got wood glue in between the layers so that when it glues up on a curve, once that glue dries in between, it's going to have a tendency to stay there. So once I take this off, there won't be so much tension on the joint between the sides and the carcass because there's not that much material to glue to. It's just 3/4 of an inch. So that's it. I planned it out before I did it. And I still missed a few things, but that's pretty much it. I have to leave it sit for a good day, and 24 hours or maybe 12, maybe tomorrow morning I'll take these clamps off and it should be good. Just trim it up with a flush cut bit on the router, seeing it smooth, and I'll put 2 more on each side. That'll give me 9/16, give or take roughly, and that ought to be thick enough and dead enough. They haven't dried yet. Once they dry, it'll be dead. So that's how I do curved panels.